Ms. Carmina. Ms. Carmina reads live. I'm Ms. Carmina. Welcome. Welcome to you. Welcome to everybody. Um, Welcome, readers and scholars. Today we are going to finish Alice in Quantumland by Robert Gilmore, an allegory of quantum physics. This will be, hopefully, we'll wrap up chapter 10. The book will be over, and we will have to find new reading material. Hopefully, you guys can help me with that. Let me know what you want next. And don't forget to subscribe, give me thumbs up, and anything else that you can think of to help my channel thrive, to help our community grow. All right, let's commence. Y dice, Alice in Quantumland, Chapter 10. This is called the Experimental Physics Fun Fair. And Alice is at the fun fair. Physics, PH, fun, PH, fair, PH. Okay, it's a play on words. As they watched the floats go by, the air was filled with a snowstorm of irregular scraps of paper. Torn up unsuccessful grant applications, said the quantum mechanic before Alice could ask. Come along, we had better find your ride. They passed a succession of big wheels. They were all lying on their side instead of being upright, as they would be in a normal fair, and Alice's companion told her that in the fun fair, they called them rings rather than wheels, because Alice had asked to be taken to the big wheel. That's the ride she wanted to get on at the fun fair. There was the big ring, the much bigger ring, and the CERN, truly enormous ring. CERN, CERN. CERN, truly enormous ring. Alice decided that she would like to ride on this last one. She lined up with a jostling bunch of protons, and soon she was entering the machine and being seated or injected, as they termed it, in a beam bucket. This was a sort of electrical enclosure which Alice shared with a large crowd of protons who were all milling around excitedly in all directions. They moved off, accelerated forward by strong fields which pulled on their electric charges, and as they gathered speed, the protons quieted down, and they all rushed forward together. Faster and faster they went, guided around and around by magnetic fields. After some time, Alice began to notice that their speed was no longer increasing much, though she could feel an acceleration. She asked one of the protons about this and was told that they were now going almost as fast as photons did, and nothing could go much faster than that, but that their kinetic energy was still rising. This seemed odd to Alice, and she was about to argue when there was a sudden wrench, and she felt herself flung out of the ring together with the protons. All right, before I continue reading, I'm going to read a blurb by the little bald scientist over here, okay? And he says, it is part of the paradox of quantum physics that measurements on very small objects must be made with enormously large particle accelerators. Because of the Heisenberg relation, a small size is coupled with a large momentum, and it requires a large machine to accelerate particles up to the enormous energies needed. Most of the very high energy accelerators are circular, and the particles travel through and around many times as they are accelerated. There are a few large linear accelerators in which electrons are accelerated along a single straight path, such as the 2-mile long LINAC at Stanford in California. All right. Um, Through the air, she rushed at what now seemed an incredible velocity. Looking ahead, she was terrified to see a wall directly in front of her and to realize that she and the protons were headed straight towards it. Oh my. She tensed for the collision as the wall rushed closer, but to her amazement, the wall stopped her no more than would a fog or a dream. The wall stopped her no more than would a fog or a dream. It's as if the wall wasn't solid. She looked around her and saw that although the wall had had little effect on her, the reverse was far from true. She passed an atom some way off, and it burst asunder, the electron spilling out and the nucleus cast free to drift on its own. All around her, she trailed a deadly train of virtual photons. These tore at the atoms she passed, which seemed gas as gossamer, ripped apart by the distant effect of her passage. She came close to a nucleus, and it too was shattered. The protons and neutrons scattered in every direction. In dismay, she recollected the cosmic raider whom she had seen from Castle Rutherford, and who had so effortlessly destroyed a nuclear castle. Now she was horrified to realize that she had become as he, leaving a wide swath of destruction among the atoms and nuclei which she passed. Um, hey y'all, don't forget to give me thumbs up. If you're watching, give me thumbs up, okay? I want to know you were here. Leave me a comment, talk to me on the live chat. I want to hear from you. I love my subscribers, so subscribe. And I love my readers and scholars. That's you. Um, She saw a neutron straight ahead for just a moment before she plowed into it. Briefly, she glimpsed its three quarks, who were thrown into a panic by her passage. They were not cast individually out of the neutron because they were too firmly bound to one another, but their chains stretched and broke, with the creation of a host of quark-antiquark pairs. Okay. Where previously the neutron had been standing was now a great jet of mesons, carried forward by the wake of Alice's own enormous momentum. Alice hid her eyes to blot out the image of the chaos about her, lest she should see even more violent catastrophe. She had a brief sensation of falling and felt a slight bump. Now we have another blurb from the bald scientist right here. And it says, the high energy particles produced by accelerators can penetrate for considerable distances through normal matter. They have such high energy compared to that in the electronic bonds between atoms that these have little effect in slowing them. Such particles leave a swath of ionization and broken bonds along their path. If they pass close to the nucleus of an atom, they will split this apart also. Eventually, these fast particles will lose all their energy through such processes, but they can go a long way. Hi, Jack. I am not AI. I am not AI. Oh, these are the notes. Um, and Alice felt a bump. Let us continue reading. Oh, let me show you first the illustration. This is the last illustration of the book. And it says, Alice quickly opened her eyes to find that she had fallen off the couch in her own front room and was lying on the floor. She got up quickly and looked around. The sun was shining cheerfully in through the window, and the rain had cleared away. She turned to look at the television, which was still operating. The screen showed a group of rather serious folk sitting around the studio, arranged carefully on either side of a commentator who informed Alice that they were about to have a studio discussion on the future of scientific planning in the country. Boring, said Alice. She switched off the television firmly and went outside into the sunshine. You know what, Jack? I love Harry Potter, but I tried to read The Christmas Pig by J.K. Rowling in my channel, and I was making videos, and I made a few videos, but then they got taken down because um, that's the way they protect their copyright. So maybe I can read you Harry Potter, as long as I give you my opinion about Harry Potter. I don't know if that's what you want. We can talk about Harry Potter here. What's your house? I always thought of myself as a Gryffindor. I know it does. I worked really hard on The Christmas Pig, and I liked the book. I read it before I read it for my channel. I had already read it. It's a good book. Um, yeah, well, my favorite Harry Potter book is the first one. I read it for the first time in Spanish when I was a teenager. It was really good. Okay, this is the next thing I'm wondering. Um, I'm a Gryffindor too, but recently I've changed and I'm a Ravenclaw, you know? Ravenclaws are kind of geeky and nerdy. So I believe I'm a Ravenclaw. Everyone's a Gryffindor. Everyone wants to be a hero, brave, like Harry Potter and Hermione and Ron. No, but I like Gryffindor and I like Ravenclaw. But you know what I find when you take the house test on Google? I've taken it several times and it gives me different results, Gryffindor or Ravenclaw. And it depends on what type of mood I'm in when I'm answering the test. So you guys, let's talk about what book I'm going to read for you next. I don't have any more books with me today. And we finished Alice in Quantumland very quickly because I had already started reading chapter 10 in 2 other videos. So I have started reading in live The House at Pooh Corner. I can continue reading The House of Pooh at Pooh Corner. Or what type of reading topics do you guys want? Like a novel? I have I have the book The Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll, the author of Alice in Wonderland. Or I have Alice in Wonderland, I can read that. What do y'all think? Mm, or brainy books? Are you guys into brainy books or are you guys into just um novels? I guess you could be into all of them. I am. You want the Jabberwocky? Okay. The Jabberwocky is gonna be a good one to read live because the Jabberwocky has stories and poems. I believe, and I may be wrong, but I believe that Lewis Carroll used to write like different what we call content today. He used to write different things for newspapers and like children's magazines and things like that. And maybe the Jabberwocky is a compilation of some of those works. Okay. Jabberwocky. Okay. Yes, I would. It's a love novela. Is it for TV or is it for just to be a book? We also have the House of Blue Corner. The thing is, um, that in order to evade being stricken for copyright, the books need to be really old, or I need to already know that these authors are cool. But the authors that I know are cool are usually picture book authors from the books I've already read and made videos about. So, um, yes, Jack, that's really good that you're writing a book. Um, that seems like something you should get published. Um, mm, all right. I'm going to continue brainstorming about what to read next. You guys should really give me good requests, things that you would like me to read next after I finished Alice in Quantumland. I know some people have tuned in to listen because they like quantum physics, and that's why they're listening to this book, but I don't have any more books that are palatable about quantum physics. Come on, guys, you know what I'm talking about. Um, so FYI, this is a family channel, so we're looking for family books, family type books. Like, does anybody like A Wrinkle in Time? I remember I read that book when I was younger. Is a Millennial Hospitality series a graphic novel or is it just plain text? Maybe I'll read, you know what? Maybe I'll read the Wild Robot. The Wild Robot is really short and sweet as a book. The movie's good too. It made me cry. Millennial Hospitality series. Also, I need to read books that I already have at my house. I'm not trying to buy more books or indebt myself to the library. Although, if you guys request a specific book and you really want to hear it, I will go to the library because I obviously like the library. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. I have the Jabberwocky, the House of Pooh Corner, the Millennial Hospitality series, which I will check out because Jack, you are sketchy, my friends. I don't know if this is gonna be appropriate for my channel. Um, I see. Well, I do love trolls as well. Um, okay. The Millennial Hospitality series. I'll go to the library for that one, maybe. if you really want to hear it. However, it's it's Thursday today. Tomorrow is Friday. I get another. Well, I'll be reading again live from 12 to 1 Pacific time, which is where I am now. And um, I think I might be reading A House of Pooh Corner tomorrow because that's a book I already started. I can also read in Spanish and Italian. If you guys have a Spanish book you want to hear, maybe I'll grab a Spanish book, even if you don't request it. I'm in California, and I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank you guys for reading with me and hanging out. I'll be back tomorrow with A House of Pooh Corner, probably, unless I change my mind. We'll find out. See you tomorrow. Love you.